If you can watch this video, it means that you have in your mail the resources for this part. In the resources, you will find 8 PDF files. Each of them contains one story. We will read one story per week. What you will do is simple. It is in 3 steps. So the first step, you open the first story and copy the link to go on YouTube to watch the story. The objective, the goal, the purpose is not to understand everything. The goal, the objective, the purpose is to watch and understand the story. Don't try to use subtitles on YouTube. Just enjoy the story. I'm sure you will understand the story globally. So after watching the story, you move to step 2. Step 2. This step is reading the story in the file. Do not forget. The most important thing is not to understand every single word. The most important thing is to understand the story. I do not even know all the words in the stories myself. Remember all the benefits of reading. Reading is your best friend to acquire perfectly the language. So in the stories, you will see 2 types of words you don't understand. You will see the words you don't need to understand the story. And you will see words you feel you must understand to understand the story. For the words you must understand to get the meaning of the story, you can look for them like we used to search for words since the beginning of the course. You search for images, and if you don't find the image, you can use the translation from Deepo, but not use the translation in your cards. You can use the sentence to learn the word. Now, after reading the story for yourself, you move to step 3. Step 3. Now, it is time for play. You become an actor or an actress. It is the funniest part. You play the story aloud with intonations to make the story alive and interesting. You're supposed to complete one story per week. Here are some suggestions of how you can distribute the steps in 1 week. Maybe the first day, on Monday for example, you go through step 1. You complete the first step. On the second day, that might be Tuesday or Wednesday for example, you complete step 2. So you read the story for yourself. And on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, you go to step 3. You read, you play the story. You become an actor or an actress. After you complete step 1 in a given week, you send that message. Step 1 completed. And if you want, you can describe your impressions. In other words, you can say if you want, if it was interesting, what you did like, what you didn't like, and all those things. After step 2, you send the message, step 2 completed. And for step 3, you will record your play and send it. Don't worry about the perfection. Just play the story. Play it freely. That's why you have to read thoroughly during step 2. You have to read the whole thing for yourself. You have to read it silently. And then during step 3, it will be easy for you to read it out loud. That will be a practice for speaking. And you will do that for the 8 stories. After the end of the 8 stories, I will tell you what's next in a video that will be sent to you. One last thing. In the videos, I used the word story a lot. There is another expression to say stories. We can say tales, or we can say fairy tales. Tale means in French conte, and fairy tale means conte de fées. And I love this quotation I want to share with you. Fairy tales are more than true. Tales are more than true. Stories are more than true. Not because they tell us that dragons exist, but because they tell us that dragons can be beaten. Bye.